process. What is up, YouTube? Today is the day. This is the video. Last video, I finished up most of the electrical stuff. Got to work out a few little kinks, but I think it should be good enough to fire up safely. And today is the day we get this thing ready and we start her up. So last video, got my engine harness all wrapped up and routed. Coil packs are back on. Battery was relocated to the trunk and all of my new battery cables were ran, and ground wires. And also, this looks like a mess in here, but I pretty much have organized everything in my head enough to start it up, and got my LS ECU hooked up and just have to finish hooking up starter wires and alternator wire. So it's kind of a bummer because I can't just put oil in this thing and start it up. Because the transmission's hooked up, I want to put oil in that, and because I need to put oil in that, I got to put the drive shaft in to seal it. And because I have to do that, I got to put oil in the diff. So I got to fill up all of those things, install the drive shaft, and I'm going to go ahead and bleed the clutch. That way that's working once I start it up. So I just want to take a second and say thank you to everybody who's been watching. This thing, I probably could have started up a long time ago, and I probably could have jumped ahead of a lot of steps and got it started up. For me, the most fun in this thing is building it. So if I were to throw it all together, get it started, it'd be so hard for me to go back and then make everything look nice and make everything how I want it. So sorry if this is taking way too long, but this is just how, in my head, this is how I'm having the most fun building this thing. So thank you guys for sticking with me. Thank you guys for watching. I'm super excited and I can't wait to see this thing run. All right guys, before I hook up those starter wires, I figure I better make sure I have oil in this thing before I give it any chance to turn over. So oil filter's already on. I put that on whenever I did the oil pan. I am planning on changing the oil not long after this thing starts running. Probably only a couple miles. As far as I know, the engine's been sitting for multiple years. It looked really clean inside, but with me switching out the oil pan, putting the baffling in, messing around with the intake and heads and stuff, I'd feel better about changing the oil right away. So I got some cheap stuff that I'm gonna just put in. It's just kind of break-in oil, I guess, and then I'll change it for some good stuff. Almost forgot my dipstick. Oh man, that's gonna be ugly. right, guys, I ran into my first snag. Went to bleed the clutch master cylinder. And of course, my slave cylinder is leaking. So not sure what could be causing that. It's either leaking out of one of my lines. I have some fittings in there that I had to make work. So it's either leaking out of one of those or the actual slave itself is leaking right out of its seal. So it's a bummer, but I'm not gonna let it stop me. I can start this thing in neutral and I should be okay. I'm gonna keep going and try to get this thing started, but it looks like at least the trans is gonna have to come out again. And that's probably the way I'll do it. I'll probably just remove the trans. I think that'll be the easiest way to get to it, but we'll see. That'll be a project for another day. All right, guys, this thing is ready to crank for the first time. Injectors are all unplugged because I don't want to flood this thing whenever I'm trying to build up oil pressure. Coils obviously don't have anything. Spark plugs are out. No headers or anything, and I think I'm going to try to start it up with no headers. It probably would be smart to stick those on upside down or something, just so I'm not shooting hot air and possibly flames everywhere, but that should be it.
I can see flames out of all 4 cylinders.
Really? Oh, I know what it is. It's because I don't have my intake pipe on. It's not getting a MAF reading. That'll be good enough. That should be what it is. I don't know why it would be anything else. Key didn't shut it off. I need to figure that out. It really wasn't as loud as I thought.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, there you go. I wasn't planning on ending this video until I got it started, so it's really good to see. I left in the full clip, so at the end there, what had happened is I actually turned off the key and the engine kept running, and then it slowly died out. So I believe I might have mixed up a wire, and I have no clue. It's hard to say. I might have a constant power on one of the injectors and coil power wires. Either way, I can figure that out. I can do some troubleshooting there, but either way, it started up. I'm super happy. It ran super smooth. Honestly, couldn't ask for much better. What did I say? I wanted to get it started before the new year, and it's the 30th. So I don't know when you'll see this video, probably after the new year, but super happy. But yeah, so now that I know it runs, I can finish up the wiring inside the car, clean it all up and make it look all nice in there and not like a big mess and fire hazard. I'll probably end up, like I said, making my own standalone fuse box. That'll just help clean it up and also let me separate out my power lines onto different fuses instead of having them all on one fuse. As I said before, I don't think it hurts much to have them all on the same fuse. It just would probably trip that fuse quicker. so I probably blow fuses often. Now, if I were to up the fuse amperage, that could be dangerous. Either way, got it started. Got it started without the AccuSump. So that was basically like it was running straight through the oil cooler. And I think the oil cooler actually has a thermostat in it, so it wasn't even really running through the oil cooler, just in and out pretty much. It is officially running. Like I said before, the transmission has to get dropped out. The internal slave is leaking bad. So I need to figure that out. Once I figure that out, it's on to getting this thing onto the ground. So suspension, got big things planned for suspension, steering, all that good stuff. So stay tuned for more. Because of the rework that has to be done with the transmission, look out for that in the upcoming videos. I'll keep you guys in the loop on what's going on there, what went wrong. Feels good. Like I said, couldn't ask for a better end to the my break off of work here. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later.